Welcome to View from the Top. I am Modile Sharafa Yusuf. Thank you for joining us. Due to sharp drops in revenue accruing to the Federation account as a result of decline in the price of crude oil, statutory allocations to all the tiers of government had fallen by about 30% in 2014. With this 30% decline in statutory allocations coming against marginal or no increase in internally generated revenue and coupled with sustained overheads on political office holders, many states found themselves unable to meet their statutory obligations, including payment of salaries. In about 18 states, workers' salaries are said to be in arrears for between 2 and 7 months. At the heart of the problem is the excess crude account, which is said to have depleted from more than $40 billion in 2007 to about $4 billion in 2014 and to about $2.5 billion this month. Now, it is no secret that stability in countries all over the world partly depend on fair salaries paid on time. Already, there's rising tension in the country because of unpaid workers' salaries, and state governors, aware of this, are crying out for help. Who's to blame? What can be done? How can we avoid a repeat? Who better to discuss these issues than Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, two-time governor of Edo State and former NLC president. Governor Oshiomhole kindly joins me on View from the Top today, and I want to thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, my comrade.
Here's a quick biography of the Comrade Governor before we launch into our conversation. Adams Aliu Oshiomhole was born on 4 April 1952. After his secondary education, he got a job with the Arewa Textiles Company, where he was elected Union Secretary. He became a full-time trade union organizer in 1975. In 1982, Adams Oshiomhole was appointed General Secretary of the National Union of Textile, Garment and Tailoring Workers of Nigeria. He became NLC President in 1999. In April 2007, Adams Oshiomhole ran for governor of Edo State and was eventually declared winner in March 2008. In 2012, he was elected to a second term. Your Excellency, you know, the focus is on the states because they are not paying salaries. Maybe I should add that Edo State is said to have paid salaries up to date. But you have said that things are worse than we think and that the whole country is bankrupt. How bad is it?
I would say very bad. Thank you. But first, and this is the point I've always tried to correct, when analysts and commentators allude to the fact, which everybody can see, that many states, maybe as much as 2/3 of the states, are not up to date in payment of salaries, allowances, and other obligations to their workforce. What is not often stated is the fact that the federal government is just in the same bad shape. The only difference is that under the immediate past Minister of Finance, they have borrowed rather recklessly in trillions of naira to meet the wage obligation of the federal government. If states have access to CBN and to command the CBN governor to provide funds, however unfairly, to do the sort of thing that the federal government has been doing, the federal government should have defaulted for more than 6 consecutive months. So the correct valuation of view, therefore, is that both federal and states, many are unable to meet their wage obligations within their legitimate income. Because borrowing to pay salary does not amount to buoyancy. It simply shows that you have postponed the evil day or you have transferred the burden to future generations. For example, President Jonathan can be said to have paid wages only to the extent that Minister Okoje-Iweala borrowed from the CBN, from various bonds, instruments, including drawing down over 3 trillion naira from the pension fund. So civil servant savings, what we call the workers' capital in the Trade Union Palace, is what the former minister had drawn heavily to fund the wages of federal employees.
Why are we just finding out about this? No. Nobody raised
We
the
always
alarm.
raising it. If you play back my statements over and over, we had raised this. And it was also an open secret. You look at the budget of the past president, other Dr. Kojewela, for the past 4 years, looked at the level of deficit financing. This is a public document, not a secret document. It will reveal a couple of things. First, that for 3-4 consecutive years, under the past government, they spent, on the average, sometimes it was higher, about 80% of their total budget on recurrent expenditure. Only 20% for capital at the level of budgeting. Now, at the level of actual releases, the situation was worse than that. Number two, that every year, the federal government, under President Goodluck, with Okojewela as the finance minister, borrowed in trillions of naira, both in domestic sources and foreign sources, to meet not capital projects, to meet recurrent expenditure. I have said this to various electronic media, and I have said so in print. At the National Economic Council meeting, I have confronted the minister face-to-face on these facts. So if you say, why are we just seeing it? Maybe at that time, people were too busy watching simulated D3, D4 visuals in electronic and in the print, that the real hard facts were lost. And whatever anybody said was viewed not for its weight, viewed in political terms. And so even if some of us were making noise, we were just making noise because we were opposition. But the truth is there.